I think to start with, I thought that the hospice was just going to be a group of old people sat round talking, and I thought, I'm not sure that I'm ready for this. I don't class myself as an old person as such. And I thought, I don't know. But anyway, Polly said, and I thought, okay, I'll go and give it a try. And when I went, I found there was a really mixed age group. Going in, you think, yes, it's what am I going to do? But I tended to find within a few minutes, I seemed quite settled in the hospice. And I've been there now for quite a long time. I've made an awful lot of friends at the hospice. Obviously, I've lost some friends, which is another important fact. You do make a lot of friends. I'm amazed at what goes on. People from all walks of life, and your outside life seems to be left behind somehow. And you just sort of mingle together. And that was my first impressions of the hospice. It was totally different to what I thought it was going to be. And things I benefited from at the hospice, I say conversations obviously, but there's lots of complementary therapists that I've used since I've been there. Starting with the music therapy, it helped me deal with some of the issues, helped me talk to my wife about some of the issues and try to make her feel more comfortable with things that probably would happen in the future. The other therapies I've used is drama therapy, and you get this little insight into people that you wouldn't normally get because you're doing things in a group. You get so involved in it, you actually forget why you're there, and you just get so absorbed in it, and little snippets of our life come up, little scenarios that we've done in our own lives, they often get put into the stories. Yeah, I've used that, and I've Sheena with another complementary therapy, which is aroma therapy. And I tend to find that if I'm really out of breath, I find that really beneficial, because just the massaging of the shoulders, it drops your shoulders, it makes you relax more. There's gentle music playing in the background, and all those little things are the little things that calm everything down in your body. And I say it makes you forget that there's something wrong with you. The arts and crafts room is another type of therapy. There's all sorts of things to do down there. I'm amazed at what people do. People do things and you think, you wouldn't ever, people come in and say, well, I can't do this or I can't do that. Nobody forces anybody to do anything. You do as little or as much as you like. Nobody forces anything on you, but you see other people doing things and you think to yourself, I think I might like to try that. So I like painting myself, and again, if somebody else comes in and says they can't paint, I don't mind if they come round, and I don't mind helping them do that at all. And I think that's what happens with everything. Everybody, sometimes we do projects where a few of us can get involved. And again, that's another thing, and I mean, we don't get this, I suppose we don't get that outside, because we've got illnesses, we don't get to see people and mix with people and do those things that we don't always know we'd like to do until we see somebody else doing it and we think, I think I'd like to do that. And you have a go at it and you actually amaze yourself what you've actually done. And it amazes other people too. Yeah, the medical side of it obviously really important, because the nurses will phone up, often they phone up the doctors for me, mention different types of medications that can help my condition, which I wouldn't have known of myself. And also they're there as a really, really good backup for the rest of the family. I don't think not just the nurses, because the therapists are there for that as well, as I well know. But I say yes, and I've been poorly at the hospice and they've got the doctor out to see me. One of the nurses will come in with me in case I don't grasp everything that's going on, which I often don't. So yeah, the nurses are a big beneficial. Most days they'll come around and ask you how you're feeling, and they'll go through little things with you and things that might help you and everything else. So yeah, they're really important as well. even the volunteers, everything. I think just everything about the hospice just meshes in together. And it's just like this big safety net around you. It's like cushioning, if you like. It cushions, it softens the blow of everything. And I say, while you were actually there, and it's not just me, because two people I talked to, and I say, have you enjoyed today? And they said, yeah, I really enjoyed coming here. And they wouldn't miss it. They just don't, people don't like to miss coming. So I've met young people, old people, and it just seems to all gel together. But it's a form of escape from our everyday lives. That's the main issue of things, and I tend to find that most people do really forget about their illnesses or whatever. I don't find people over talk about illness. It doesn't get discussed because there's so many other things to discuss, and it doesn't happen. I mean, now and again somebody will, but it's not a problem. But yeah, it's just a really comfortable place to be. Yes, I'd been in once. I've had a spell in Weldmar Hospice as an inpatient. I don't know, it was 2 or 3 weeks, I think, in there. But I'd been in hospital for a couple of weeks, really poorly. Not a very nice experience in hospital. I eventually got the chance to go into Weldmar. I went into Weldmar. I couldn't believe it. Just the surroundings and everything else is so different to the hospital. The care side of things, people couldn't do enough. There just seemed staff there to do absolutely everything for you. I mean, there was still the art groups and things go on so many days a week, and still the massage, everything was such an awful job to explain. It was more like an hotel than being in an hotel than being in a hospital. And honestly, that's just how it was. And again, we think that just because you go into somewhere like that, you think you're not going to come out. You think this is the end. But that was probably 3 years ago I was in there, and I'm still here today. So it's never the end. There's always hope. And it just goes to show that it's just not about, it doesn't mean your life's going to end because you're going to an hospice. It just means that they're going to make the rest of your life that much easier to bear and that much easier to deal with. Not just for me, for the whole family.